Hi, it's Laura at Hyperstamper. Welcome back to my channel. And today's antique junk journal is this beautiful repurposed antique book here from 1920s. And I've got my vintage beads that I collect and have strung them into a really beautiful bangle. And I used green and red to match these little tea cards here, which is what they're called. Sometimes they're from the early 1900s, maybe between 10 and 20. And I pulled red and green ones. And we've got the carnations and the pelargoniums. Sorry, can't say them. But this is the cards that I have collected over the years and am ready to part with a few. My favorite is this one. It's a bird, the woodpecker. Yeah, so I've got them tucked in this little pocket here that I made out of a Rolodex card. And I've got all kinds of antique paper there and vintage crochet and antique brass knob backing. And then I've got this lovely little photo here from the 1920s. Lady, I just love her hat and her fur on there. And then I've got one of my 1920s flinch cards. So I just think it's a really fun and whimsical cover. And I've got it tied together with this beautiful lace doily here the side. And let me take you on a little journey through all of the authentic antique and vintage pages inside. And let's see what we have here before I put it in my Etsy shop, which is hyperstamper.etsy.com. You can find that link below. So here's the original first pages of the book. We've got some 1920s My Book House series paper here. This is vintage flip chart paper. And this is a 1951 yearbook page with the autographs from the schoolmates and the notes from schoolmates on there, which I just love. And then this is a plate from the early 1900s, and it's just a lovely plate there. You can journal on the back of that too. And that's all mounted on top of an antique book page. And here's something that's really special. It's from that antique photo album that I'm almost down to the last few mounted pages, but this is a cottage at a girls' summer camp. And here's some of the girls. And I love that they have all their little cots outside. They probably slept under the stars one night. I just think that is so precious. That's sweet. This is a 1950s theater arts magazine page. And this is a vintage bird book page. We've got the bald eagle there, of course. And just a fun cluster here. And then here's another wonderful page from that vintage bird book. I believe from the 70s, so 50 years old. And more theater arts pages there. Another antique book page here, just a lovely little image of a castle there. And my pressed flower here on a vintage dictionary page. And this came from a history book from the 1930s. Isn't that fun? I just put some antique paper on the back so you could journal on there. Another 1927 page here, up one pair of stairs. Little gnomes or elves there. I guess they're elves. And let's see, this is a 1930s children's book page of Man in the Moon. Isn't that wonderful? I love it. And then in here I've put, this came from the English garden book that I have. This was a spine. And then I've just added some of my tea-dyed and antique pages here. And then in here I've got some little tags. Isn't that sweet? That's a little miniature booklet there. And I made the pocket out of a vintage doily, antique music sheet, vintage bird book page, and it still has the little tab on it. This page is wrens, isn't that cute, and warblers. So I really, that's really special to have the tab on there. And I love this advertisement page here. Isn't that great? All the old movie and the old plays advertisements, which is pretty cool. Sorry, flipping over there. And then this is so special. Look at this. It's a full page here. I want to be gentle with it because they're old, because they're, this one's almost 100 years old. Look at how sweet that is. Devonshire cloth, where Devonshire clotted cream comes from. And yeah, look at that stunning picture. So just a real treasure there. That is lovely. Another children's book page here from the 30s, and more of those wonderful advertisements for plays. A vintage botanical. Look at this one with the roses. Isn't that lovely? We've got peach here and Piccadilly there. Just lovely. Some fun clusters, antique book page, a journaling tag. Isn't that sweet? There, and I love this page topper here that says Adventures from an Antique Book, more clusters. This is just a fun little floating pocket here, and I've got a little journaling spot here, and just it's from an arithmetic book from the 1890s. Pretty cool. Sorry, I have to do that so we don't crush the, come on, Laura, you can do it. I did it. It's been a long week. This is another really cool magazine page, and this one's from the 50s. So this one is 70 some odd years old here. Just really cool advertisements, and a full color one here on these beautiful hooked rugs that you can make yourself. Oops, sorry, that goes here, sorry. There we go, and another 1930s children's book page, poems, vintage paper here. Here's a really fun little tag with 2 more tags inside. Not fun. Just a fun little insert there, and another little mini tag. Vintage map. And this is from an antique book there as well. And then we have a little clip here on top of a vintage children's book page. And it has on one side a 1925 puzzle on it. Is that sweet? And pocket here with antique paper, this wonderful beach scene from the 1930s, and then this piece here, which you can journal on the back of there as well. So just all kinds of stuff going on here. That's one of the things I love about my junk journals is I just like to hide things everywhere, not just the normal sort of places you see, but I really like to try to get as creative as I can. More vintage pages here. We've got this wonderful plate here from the early 1900s. It's how to grow greenhouse flowers, and blank on the front and back, so you can journal on there. And I love this because it's the old ink and paste, so that's kind of what I use. And I just really like that, from an old craft book. And this is a Longfellow's poem that's about 110 years old, that little page there. And this is just a fun little vintage postcard, likely from the 50s, so about 70 years old. And I love this page here, Mother Nature. I've got some interior book spine here, children's book pages. That's 120 years old, that page. I did some hand stamping on those pages. Little fold out so you can see the whole image there. And then that brings us to the end, and we've got a little recipe here, and you flip this one up and you've got a really fun little spot inside there. And that came from this old 1950s Know the Game ballroom dancing book, and I just love that it flips up and you can see the whole thing there. And then I added another pocket on the back here with a little journaling envelope inside here, and a 1950s Betty Crocker cookbook page, more 1930s and 40s children's book pages, and then the end page of the book. So I hope you love this. I loved making it. You can see more of my journals at hyperstamper.etsy.com. Come back soon. Don't forget to subscribe.